everyone. Welcome back if you've seen any of my previous videos. My name is Melissa. Channel here is Melissa_Denon6. I'd like to talk about all things makeup and beauty. So if that interests you, please feel free to subscribe, like, share, leave me some comments. I'd love to interact with you a bit more. So in this video, I already have my base makeup done because I am going to be reviewing the new Too Faced Maple Syrup Pancakes eyeshadow palette. I had no intention of picking this up. I'm actually on a low buy, but I was in Ulta picking up some hair products because I had ran out of everything. And I saw this and I was like, it's pretty cute. I wanted to pick up the Natasha Denona. I need a nude, but this one I feel like gives me nudes with certain pops of color, so that's why I went ahead and snagged this palette up. This palette retails for $54. It is available right now on the Too Faced website, Ulta, and Sephora. The description reads as, get ready to flip for something sweet and sexy. This palette of warm maple syrup pancake scented shadows is stacked with 18 sumptuous shades ranging from buttery mattes to sizzling rich metallics that will leave you looking hot and ready for whatever the day or night serves up. This is what the outer packaging looks like. On the front, you've got the name with a cute stack of pancakes. On the back, you get an image of what the palette layout looks like, as well as a description. This palette is cardboard, which I love that they switched. I think the last time I purchased the Too Faced palettes was the original milk chocolate palettes, or chocolate, I don't remember what it's called. But it came in that tin, and I remember mine, like, the nail or something came out, and I was never able to close it again, so I had to discard it. But since then, I have not purchased a Too Faced palette. So I'm hoping this one has just as good quality as I remember the milk chocolate one having, or chocolate, whatever it was. It's got a very nice mirror in there. And here is the palette. It is marketed as having a syrupy pancake smell. I want to say it's very subtle. Like, I'm just barely getting that. It's not like super sweet and syrupy. Like, you can smell it a little bit, but it's not anything overbearing. So if you're someone who doesn't like a ton of fragrance, I don't think this will cause a bad reaction. But yeah, today I'm actually going to do two different looks. So I'll do one look on this eye and one look on this eye. I just want to try to use up as many of the shadows as I can today. First, I'm going to go ahead and do some finger swatches and read the description of the shadows. I'm going to be doing finger swatches and just going down each column and reading out the description. So first up, we have Powdered Sugar, which is described as pale pink with silver pearl satin with sparkle. Very pale. They were right in that. And it's like micro shimmers is what it looks like on the finger swatch. Next is Serve Hot, which is described as deep burgundy with red metallic. Next is Short Stack, which is a cool toned brown matte. Next is Breakfast in Bed, which is described as lavender with blue and silver pearl shimmer. Next is Get Sticky, which is described as a light rose gold metallic. Next we have Cup of Joe. This is described as black with gold pearl matte with shimmer. That was weird. I want to note that the shimmer is not only gold, but there are flecks of like purple in there as well. Up is Flapjack, which is described as a muted mauve brown matte. It's a very pretty brown color. Next, we have Sleeping In, which is described as a bridal pink metallic. I want to say this one is a little bit more dry. It feels a bit drier. Um, you can feel the glitter in it. Next, we have Morning Matcha, which is described as a bright olive satin. Um, I don't see that being a satin. It looks pretty matte to me. Next is Fork Yeah, which is described as a gunmetal blue gray metallic. Next is Cider Fruit, which is described as a lime green metallic. That to me is more like a gold green olive. I don't really get a lime green vibe from that. Next is Kiss My Griddle, which is described as brown with multicolored pearl shimmer. Some of these names. Next is Blueberry Jam, which is described as a deep navy blue satin. Next is Hazelnuts, which is described as caramel brown mats. Next is A la Mode, which is described as a lavender metallic. Next up, we have Maple Syrup, which is described as copper brown metallic. Next up is Brunch Bubbles, which is described as a silvery champagne shimmer. Very pretty. I can even see that being like a highlighter on the face. Last up is Hotcakes, which is described as a true rich brown matte. So upon swatching them, most of them swatched really nice. The mattes, I would say, feel a little dry, but that's not a big deal. The one I'm a little bit worried about on how they'll perform is probably powdered sugar. Didn't have much pigmentation to it. And Sleeping In was a bit crumbly, and you could sort of feel the glitter in there, but let's go ahead and try them on the eye. Let's see. Not really sure what sort of look I'm going to go for yet. I want to definitely use like some of the olives, some of the pinks, but yeah, let's get into this. So I'm going to zoom you in. That's okay. So I'm first going to go in with Morning Matcha, which is that matte olivey shade. They're a little powdery in the pan. I'm going to just apply that in the crease. So far, that is applying beautifully. Very pigmented. No fallout. It's not patchy. It's blending out well. It's keeping its pigmentation. I'm going to take the shade Flapjack and just apply it just above the olive. I don't want to go too high up. Again, no fallout. Keeping its pigmentation. These shades are blending together beautifully. I'm going to go ahead and apply Hot Cakes just on the very outer corner since this is the deepest matte shade. Just deepen up this outer corner. So far, the mattes, while dry to the touch, are performing super nice on the eyes. No patchiness, blending together super well, not crumbling, not blending away to nothing. I'm going to add a tiny bit of blueberry jam. It's like right here. Adding that on. Now I'm going to go in with the cider fruit, which is that metallic green shade. And just apply that. Blend that into that navy shade. And these are not wet, and they're laying down pretty nice. Going in with the shade Brunch Bubbles, I'm going to put that on the inner corner. I just want to try the shade Brunch Bubbles as a highlighter, see what that looks like. I don't have any highlight on, I just didn't set my foundation. Definitely a little deep for me, but it works beautifully as a highlighter. Okay, and that is the first look. I'm not big on putting eyeshadow under the eye. I think sometimes it can overwhelm my eye shape and face sometimes, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. So far, wow, super good quality. Everything blended beautifully together, pigmented, minimal mess if any. And this is like a grungier, greeny olive look that I pulled out of this palette. So on this eye, I think I'm going to go more towards like the pinks and purples. I'm going to first go in with the shade Hazelnuts. Sort of like a transition shade. A little deep for me, but it's fine. Next, I'm going in with the shade Serve Hot, which is like that red metallic shade. And focusing that on the outer half. Next, I'm going in with Breakfast in Bed, which is that super pretty metallic shade, or lilac lavender shade with some glitter in it. This shade is a little crumbly in the pan, so what I would suggest doing if you don't want to wet it, pick it up and just press it onto the lid. And then once it's applied, you can start blending in. That way you just won't make as much of a mess. I'm actually gonna try applying it with my finger because it's not applying on the eye that pigmented with a brush. It's a little difficult with the nails, but it definitely looks a lot more pigmented and better with the finger. Don't know what this is gonna look like on the lid. I don't know if this goes with the other colors, but we're going in with Get Sticky. It's like the metallic molly shade. Blending that into that purple. Not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and take Sleeping In, which is that drier pink metallic, and just use that as like a glitter topper. And lastly, I'm going in with the powdered sugar in the inner corner. See if that'll brighten up. Okay, so it looks much better on the eye than it does swatched. There's a little bit of fallout, but nothing too crazy. Which I don't really complain that much about because it's a powder, so I expect fallout. But these are the two looks. So I went ahead and just threw on a little lash because why not? I must say I am 1,000% loving this palette. If you're wondering, do I recommend it? Absolutely. If you are attracted to this color story, I don't think you will regret it. Every shadow I tried, and I tried a good variety of them today, performed beautifully. Super pigmented, doesn't create a bunch of fallouts. Look at the versatility. Like, these two eyes look completely different. However, the color story still goes together pretty well. I think Too Faced killed it with this palette. I'm not sure why people sort of bash Too Faced so much. I don't know if it's because like they're former owners or the sexual overtones some of their products and the product names have, or maybe some people are just not attracted to their packaging because it is a bit, I guess you could say, juvenile. I don't mind it though, especially when they're putting out quality like this. I don't care that it's about a pancake stack. And again, the smell is not overwhelming. I was a little scared about that because like vanilla, sweet scents can give me a bit of a headache. But this one, unless you're like putting your face right in it, you don't really smell it. But yeah, overall, I think this is a really good palette. If you were in the market for a new palette, something that has some neutral colors with some pops of greens and purples, I would definitely recommend this palette for you. I think I have like eyeshadow or something on my lips, so if you see that, just ignore it. But yeah, like I said, 100% recommend this palette. If you are into Too Faced or you're into this color story, I do not think you'd regret it. Hope you like this video. This is the first time I've ever done like a thorough review of one product. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this. Are there any eyeshadow palettes you'd like me to go through thoroughly, show you some swatches, create different looks with them, let me know. I am super down to do that for you. But yeah, thank you again for anyone taking the time to watch my videos, support my channel. I truly appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave me some comments down below. I hope you all have a great day. Take care.